Hi, this is Janey, Imaani, and welcome to Emotional Awareness. So many parents ask me to give them parenting advice or make videos about parenting, and because my kids are only 9 and 11 now, I've always shied away from it because, I don't really know if the parenting tactics that I'm trying to use are going to work out or not because they're not really old enough. But the other day I was thinking, if there was this one sort of concept that I would want parents to remember, it would be to keep in mind that children are anti-fragile, meaning that they are not weak and they can sort of handle a lot more than we assume. So this is a really important point, I think, to keep in mind because we as parents are really hardwired to want to protect and save our children, but as a result, we end up making them weak. So the scholar and essayist Nassim Nicholas Taleb coined the term antifragile. So before that, the term didn't exist, and I think even if you looked in the dictionary right now, you wouldn't find it. So Talib believes that a property or a thing or a system can either be fragile, unfragile, or antifragile. So an example of something that's fragile is a wine glass, right? If you chuck it, it will break, it falls apart easily. Then you have something that's unfragile, like a sippy cup. So if you throw a sippy cup, it's going to remain unaffected and undamaged, right? It doesn't change its state. But on the other hand, children are considered to be anti-fragile, meaning that if they are exposed to stressors, they actually become stronger. So the opposite of fragile is actually resilient. So it's not just unfragile, meaning that when you come across hardship, failures, it's not that you will just remain unchanged. You can actually become more resilient because you are anti-fragile. So anti-fragile is something that actually increases in capability as a result of mistakes, failures, attacks, and hardship. So they actually gain from stress. So sorry for being so technical about it, but I really think, so when I read that, I thought to myself, wow, so our duty as a parent is really to train our children to be able to handle adversity and stress. So what happens is that when we as parents interfere too much and become overprotective, we actually prevent our children from developing the skills that they need to in order to survive. So for example, when we bail them out of mistakes, they don't realize how to be accountable. When we fight their corner too much, they don't learn how to fight for themselves. When we clean their room, they're not going to learn responsibility, right? They're not going to learn that the reason why their room is clean is because somebody actually put their hard work into making sure that it's clean. And so if we make their world too safe and easy, they don't learn how to handle challenges. So a question that comes up all the time is, can they be exposed to so much hardship that it leaves them with permanent scars? And the answer is yes. So we were built for our normal stress hormone, cortisol, to go up and down. But if they are overloaded with cortisol, and this happens frequently, in a short period of time and all the time, and the child doesn't have a healthy attachment to an adult, meaning that they don't have enough love in their lives, then it could be really damaging. And so the challenges that we try to put our children to has to be appropriately measured for their ability. So that means we as parents have to figure out how to slowly build them up to a point where they can take more and more difficulty as they get older. So that's also a reason why we should do it voluntarily. We should build their strength when we can, when the consequences aren't too high. And so when they do come across hardship, which they inevitably will, they would have already built some of the strength they need to in order to handle it. So the other thing that I want to say is that when I say, be tough on your kids, I don't mean being rude or disrespectful or making them feel small. Actually, what I mean is the opposite. When we give our children enough love and respect, they actually feel confident enough to go and take on difficult tasks because they know that there is a safe enough place for them to come back to whenever they fail. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, especially this video, and make sure you share it with all the other parents as well. And I will see you next Wednesday. So make sure you share and take care. Bye.